It says showtime, and we're live. And we play a little music and build the beat. And stay tuned, family. This is like a beat down like no other. I might even get arrested for child abuse today for this whooping I'm about to put on Smash Rockwell, Jabari, Reggie, and Brother Ankh all at one time. This is going to be very interesting and very entertaining. And after this, we shouldn't have any more questions about where Narmer is coming from or anything about anyone coming from the South. I will dead this entire argument, all while going for the jugular vein of these five individuals.
The funk is here to stay. I'll toast to that. It's the tuxedo way. I'll toast to that. Party people here with us.
Family, don't go nowhere. This is going to be very entertaining and be very good and enlightening. We're going to see who is above who intellectually today.
I'll toast to that. Take your cup and raise it up. I'll toast to that. Dust your shoulders off and let your head down. We're gonna celebrate tonight. Everyone, I'll toast to that. Feels like a holiday. I'll toast to that. We'll dance the night away. I'll toast to that. Party people here with us. I'll toast to that.
I'll toast to that.
Take your cup and raise it up. I'll toast to that. If you're rolling with the tuxedo sound, we're gonna celebrate tonight. Everyone, I'll toast to that. Move your feet to never fall. Don't be holding up the wall like a vegetable. Celebrate until the dawn. I've been waiting all week long just to let it go. The funk is here to stay. I'll toast to that. It's the tuxedo way. I'll toast to that. Party people here with us. I'll toast to that.
I'll toast to that.
Take your cup and raise it up. I'll toast to that. Come on, party people. I'll toast to that. Yeah, yeah. Everyone. We're
This is my shit right here. I'm coming right to you guys. You guys are gonna be entertained tonight. You're gonna learn something tonight. Stay tuned.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Na 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 na. Oh, oh, oh.
Shining like a light in the nighttime.
Loving everything that you got.
Thinking that it might be the right time.
Take this party to the next spot. I got you on my mind, on my mind. Can't stop thinking about you all the time, all the time.
Na 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 na.
It happened oh so fast. I wanna make it last.
Na 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 na.
So if you want me to, then baby say I do. I'll give it all to you. Shining,
And like a light in the nighttime.
loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might
Be the right time.
take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. No one has ever loved me the way you do. I'll never find another one like you. One like you.
Na 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 na.
Shower me with your love. Now I can't get enough.
Na 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 na.
So if you want me to, then baby say I do. I'll give it all to you. Shining
Like a light in the nighttime.
loving everything that you got.
Thinking that it might be the right time.
Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got.
Thinking that it might be the right time.
Take this party to the next spot. Alright, okay. I never felt this way. Okay, alright. Let's get it on tonight. Alright, okay. I never felt this way. Okay, alright. Let's get it on tonight. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light.
In the nighttime.
Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this
that it might be the right time.
Take this party to the next. Alright, okay, I never felt this way. Okay, alright, let's get it on tonight. Alright, okay, I never felt this way. Okay, alright, let's get it on tonight. Shining like a light.
The nighttime.
Shining like a light. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Shining like a light
In the nighttime.
loving everything that you got. Thinking
That it might be the right time.
to take this party to the next spot.
Man, look here. That shit bang. I don't care what nobody say. Let me come on back to y'all so I can see y'all. Yeah. That shit bang. I don't care what nobody say. You know what I mean? That's that group called Tuxedo, right? Tuxedo's greatest hits, right? It's actually a white boy named Meyer. And Meyer makes 90s and funks kind of songs. And this white boy whose name is Meyer, he has his own solo projects and shit like that. Started a group called Tuxedo, where they just fucking get down and funk it up and, you know, it be just some hot ass shit. And that shit, that's my favorite song I've heard all year long. Hey, Jasmine LD, Jasmina. Hey, Jasmine, I don't know if you know, but let me show you. Hold on. If I had a t-shirt on, I'd show you. But I don't want to come up out my shirt. But I have your name tattooed on my arm right here. My daughter's name is Jasmine. So Jasmine is on my arm. Jasmine and my other daughter, Jessica. So basically, I got Jasmina, Jasmine, tattooed on my arm. I appreciate your donation. So a lot of people from out of the country couldn't cash at me for a long time because they're out the country. But now people can super chat me. I guess I qualify for a super chat some kind of way. They gave my ignorant ass a super chat. So, thank you and wink, Jasmina. What's up, OG Donnie up in here? Corey Antitheist up in here, coming with the coalition, right? Dr. Banu, Ricardo Robinson, man, always here in support. What he's saying goes, he agrees with a lot of what Chief X is conveying, okay? Jasmina Carter C. Goodson, one of my wisest YouTube followers, okay? S. Rush up in here. Ricardo Robinson, Kwame. Let him know, Kwame, to hit the goddamn like button. All right? Corey. Everybody's asking, where's Sosa? Where is Sosa? I ain't heard from Sosa. Don't tell me Sosa locked up. Please not. The homie Sosa ain't been seen or heard from. We're going to have to put an APB out on the brother. Peace to you, S. Rush. Mad Hers. I hope I didn't forget nobody. Shakir up in here lurking. That's the homie too. Malik Omar. Faith. Faith is faithful. I love me some faith. Okay? And I think I've mentioned all the homies so far. So, man, they go armchair philosopher. He's in the top two wisest that comments anywhere, not just on my channel, but anywhere you see armchair or Carter C. Goodson commenting, best believe that shit. JD and APEP up in here too. So check this out, family. Today, let me turn this one down. Today we're gonna have some fun. It's gonna be entertaining and enlightening. I'm gonna show you that the people who you've been following have been defrauding you intentionally. This is not a mistake. This is not something people just naively wrong about. I don't trip on nobody who's naively wrong. People require correction. I trip on people who intentionally lie and intentionally miseducate. Appreciate you, Freddie. Hold on, y'all. Appreciate you, Freddie. So just if anybody want to support me, I see people paying money and donating and giving cash apps to people and donating to people so these people can lie to them. These liars got my black folk paying them for lies because it makes them feel better. So they pay for a lie to make themselves feel better. And here people like Brother Reggie Smash Rockwell, Brother Ankh, and whoever the hell else, Asar, Wu Jiao, will oblige them and say, hey, I'm going to give you a lie. Tell the truth. So that's my cash app if anybody want to hook a brother up, man. I don't really beg or ask for cash apps much, but I throw it up there every now and then. Okay? So I'm not here to get paid. And the way you know I'm not here for any kind of agenda or for money or to get paid, my channel's monetized. I could get some dollars for this video. But guess why I can't? Because I played somebody's music before I began speaking. So that's a copyright strike. It's not a bad thing. It just means I won't reap the monetization for this video. The person whose music it is will get the money for my video. That's all it means. So it's not like you're in trouble. So I don't give a fuck. So when I be playing music at the beginning of these videos, I'm already saying I don't give a fuck about the money. So they hit me every time I play music. Sometimes I'll throw some instrumental up. So check this out, family. You've been getting highly miseducated on purpose by wicked people who have an agenda to reap financial benefits and or simply attention and followers and views from telling you something slick like, from telling you something you want to hear, from making you feel like you are a part of this sexiest history called Egypt. You're not just a West Central African in a tropical area. You're something what people are making to seem sexier and grand. You are and descend from these kind of people. And your kind of people did this. Whatever your kind of people means. Right? So, it started off with Dr. Ben. And guess what? This video is Dr. Ben is going to catch some smoke in this video also. Because it started with Dr. Ben. And since we talking about Narmer, we got to tap Dr. Ben. Dr. Ben was the one who started. They came from the south, where God happy dwelled, the foothills of the mountain of the moon, which we find nowhere. It's not in the Papa Hunefer, but everyone piggybacked off that for 40 years. Tell the truth, people. Feel free to cash app a nigga. They came from the south, where God happy dwell, the foothills of the mountain of the moon, all the way down Lake Victoria. Like they came, like whoever started Egypt came from way down where Black Africa is, where Sub-Sahara Africa is, where the dark land is. You know what I mean? They came from the dark country. Sudan means land of the blacks. Ethiopia means land of the burnt face. So the further south people think, the blacker it gets. So coming from the south, the foothills of the mountain of the moon, where God happy dwelled, was a staple statement in the conscious community. Starting with Dr. Ben, and he was wrong. There's no such statement in the papyrus of Hunefer. And anyone gets $1,000 if they can prove otherwise. Or shut your mouth. It's on today. Let me shut my door for my neighbors think I'm crazy. Matter of fact, they know I'm crazy. Hold on. God damn it, I'm in rare form today. I'm in rare form today. I said I want to put out some smoke. And these cats said they want all the smoke. Well, let me oblige you. So Dr. Ben started this fuckery. This bullshit. This false alluding to the Egyptians being black folk from down south. I'm not going to make up one lie here. You can play this video back when I'm finished 100 times. Now, one thing Chief X say, you will find to be wrong. So here's everybody piggybacking off it came from the south. So when people say they came from the south, over these last 20 and 30 years that you've been listening on YouTube, they're alluding to, hold on, let's get a little light, because I'm looking handsome today, so I want you to see me. They're alluding to the Egyptian civilization being started by black folk. Let's just be honest. I'm not going to play you niggas game and act like and play dumb like I don't know what black folk are anymore. You can intellectually jack off if you want to. The black person I'm talking about is the same person that Dr. Ben wrote a book about called The Black Man of the Nile. I'm talking about that black man that Dr. Ben was referring to in his book called Black Man of the Nile. From down south, where the God happy dwelled, all the way deep in sub-Saharan Africa. That's who the fuck I'm talking about. Are we clear? What they used to call the dark continent. Are we clear? Since I don't buy books and read. We're going to talk about the Near East, since Chief X don't buy books and read, in this West Asian connection. And we're going to talk about how the Egyptians used to think of Kush and these Nubians, Narmer not being a Nubian, and how you used to think of him wretched Kush. Since I don't buy books and read, since I don't know nothing about Egypt, and Chief X ain't got one book on Egypt, he don't know nothing about Egypt, he don't know nothing about this subject, but everybody seems to put in 5,000 hours in the year 2022 talking about Chief X claims all over on these platforms. They talking about Chief so much that Sa Neter had to find Reggie to do a presentation to knock down that stuff I'm saying. And he failed miserably. Smash Rockwell just dedicated 19 hours to me over the last 2 days. But they can't debate me, but they can put together presentations for 19 hours and talk about me for 20 hours a goddamn day on different platforms, but I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy, but I got Smash Rockwell forcing this nigga to do presentations about me and my claims for 19 goddamn hours. Why don't you just debate me? Oh, I'm scared. I don't want to get embarrassed in front of everybody. So I want to do my side shit and sneak this and slip in some bullshit that I can finagle without Chief X chin checking me. Oh, Smash Rockwell can shadow box real good. But when you want to get in the ring and test his skills, oh, I can't fuck with Chief X. Reggie saying, I can't fuck with Chief X. This nigga is too skillful. He got a 1-2 that's out of this world. He got proper form. And he's still quick for 52 years old. He got a jab like a motherfucker. We don't really want to step in the ring with Chief X. We talk that shit, but we don't want to see this nigga in real life. Don't get me started today. Shit. 52 my ass. So they just want a shadow box. And Bruce Lee looked good shadow boxing, kicking at the air. But Bruce Lee ain't had nobody throwing no 1-2s at his ass with speed and ferocious viciousness. So he can look good until Tyson come out at his ass. And he not going to be doing this and shit. Let's get it on today. So, this come from the South thing, and Narmer coming from the South, they're all intentionally lying. If you think Narmer came from the South, which I used to when I was in the cult, it's because you have studied under what we call Afrocentric teachers who are subpar teachers. Meaning, you got a subpar education. And more than likely, what you think is correct is more than likely wrong. Because nobody in academia has ever said Narmer was Nubian. Not one person in the world of academia who's not an Afrocentric. Let me clarify this shit. Because they'll try to bring you an Afrocentric PhD who's also full of shit. Nobody claims Narmer's for Nubia except Afrocentrics. The people in the entire world who has who lacks identity the most, Black Americans, who's 8,000 fucking miles away from the fucking Egypt, seems to want to tell you, I forgot my goddamn point. Act like they know every goddamn thing. And they're going to tell you where Narmer's from. But nobody in academia will tell you that. So why would you believe the people with no identity and who's confused about who the fuck they is? Let alone who the ancient Egyptian was. Look here, people. Let me just give you a taste of what I'm going to do. A taste of what I'm talking about. Let me just tell you where it started. Let's just do this, people. Let me share my screen. This is where it all started with this South thing, and this is why this brother thinks this way. Hold on. Let's get to it. Let me remove this shit. Okay. This is why this brother thinks this way. He's an example, and they all co signed him. You'll see Brother Jabari shaking his head while this dude is talking. Smash Rockwell made a video later co signing this dude. Reggie made a video saying Nubians built the pyramids just yesterday. He said the Nubians built the Sphinx in the pyramid. This was Reggie said yesterday. I got him on tape and caught him in a lie. He denied it later. So they're all Reggie, Jabari, and Smash Rockwell and Brother Ankh are co-signing what this confused young man is about to say. Let's listen.
And this is an older article, but you should be able to find it on the Oriental Institute if it's still up. It says, according to Dr. Bruce Williams of the Oriental Institute of Chicago, Narmer was a Nubian who traveled up the Institute of Chicago. Narmer was a Nubian who traveled up the Institute of Chicago. Narmer was a Nubian who traveled up the Nile and conquered Kemet. Both Dr. Williams and Dr. Keith Steele from the University of Chicago's Oriental Institute have both noted that the excavation of the Upper Nile at Aswan, or what would become Aswan, for the construction of the Aswan Dam led them to a thesis. This thesis is that the earliest pharaonic monarchy in the Nile Valley was from the region of Lower Nubia. In the Nile Valley was from the region of Lower Nubia. Monarchy in the Nile Valley is that the earliest pharaonic monarchy in the Nile Valley was from the region of Lower Nubia. In the Nile Valley was from the region of Lower Nubia, known as Kustal, modern day Aswan, as the excavation proved that the white crown later used by Upper Egypt originated from Kustal about 1,000 years before it was used in Egypt. It further posits that it's only reasonable that Narmer, who was a Nubian, that it's only reasonable that Narmer, who was a Nubian, as far as who was a Nubian.
Pause. Now, just so we're clear, because we're going to be clear tonight. Watch as he say, Narmer being Nubian, watch how Jabari shakes his head in agreement. Pay attention to Jabari's face now. We're going to get all these niggas in one swoop with the sickle of death and chop their heads off today.
As far as who was a Nubian, came up the Nile. As far
He's
as
shaking his head.
who was a Nubian, came up the Nile to was a Nubian, came up the Nile.
Now, watch my face in the top right as soon as he says it.
To who was a Nubian, came up the Nile to form his conquest. As far as the name Menes,
Watch me.
to form his conquest, came up the Nile to form his conquest.
I put
As
my
far as
hands
the
in my
name
over my
Menes-
face in shame. How can they teach such misinformation and lies like that on purpose to black folk? Now, this guy is what I call someone who's genuinely naive. He doesn't know any better. But Reggie and Jabari knows better. Smash Rockwell knows better. Ankh knows better. So this is what I mean by intentionally miseducating black folk. Okay? Let's continue.
Goes, the dominant opinion amongst Egyptologists identifies Narmer with the pharaoh Menes, who is renowned in the ancient Egyptian written record as the first king and unifier of ancient Egypt. Narmer's classification with Menes is based on the Narmer palette. The issue is that the Narmer is a Haru name, while Menes is a personal or birth name. All the kings lists, which began to appear
Jabari is still shaking his head. Yes.
in the New Kingdom era, list the personal names of kings and also begin with Menes. And they also and later kings lists also show the personal name. So that's all I got. I just wanted to add that just to piggyback off what
Now, paused. Pause. Not nobody tried to correct him except Chief X. Everyone on the panel and everyone in post discussions didn't try to correct him. They doubled down on him. And that's why we're here today. Because Smash Rockwell doubled down on it. So I'm here to put Smash Rockwell over my knee and spank him today. And the rest of them together. So today I pulled out, I didn't have a sickle, but I got a machete today. And I said, which one will I use to chop the heads off? It's going to take a few choppings. I said, let me use the one I got from Ghana. And with the power of the West African ancestors in Ghana, and the Ghanaians use this one, this is the machete I'm going to use today to chop the heads off with truth of the devil. This was an example of the cult life in a student of a false teaching of Dr. Ben to think Narmer's a Nubian when nobody in academia or an Egyptologist will ever tell you that. Everyone knows Narmer was an Egyptian. And he was from damn near Central Egypt, which I will show. They laughed at me when I said that. They won't be laughing after tonight. So that's just an example. Okay, oh no, wait a minute. This is what I want to do. Let me be clear. This is an example of why I say it's so easy to deal with these cats. Let me share my screen. Pay attention.
The brother
This is Smash Rockwell
out of his league
talking about me.
and noob yet. The brother out of his league.
Anyone can Google this and look it up. That's where Narmer is from. And once Narmer unified his people, the two lands, Upper and Lower Egypt, guess what he did? He turned around and led a military exposition on the Nubians.
That's the stupidest shit in the world.
Say what?
That's the stupidest shit in the world.
What?
The Nubians.
That's the stupidest shit in the world.
Let's just hear what I said again, first of all.
In Lower Egypt, guess what he did? He turned around and led a military exposition on the Nubians.
That's the stupidest shit in the world.
He's saying I said some stupid shit. But I'm thinking that this was common knowledge. I realized after listening to these niggas, they never knew, because they considered themselves scholars, that Narmer was from THINIS. They just didn't know that. So when I said it on Sonnetters TV, it shook them. But they did know because I've said it before and made them challenges and told people Narmer was from THINIS. But he said that's stupid that he turned around and banged on the Nubians, because if Narmer, who they claim was a Nubian, or who they're trying to portray Narmer as a Nubian, if he turned around and banged on Nubians, then he couldn't be a Nubian. Why would he bang on his own people? So they have to manipulate your minds to make you think Narmer was a Nubian. Because maybe they didn't know Narmer turned around and led a military expedition. So let's listen to what he gonna say again and watch me smack him in the mouth. Hold on.
That's the stupidest shit in the world. Let me prove how he can't come up when he couldn't have a source on this.
Pause. He's saying it's stupid. I don't have a source for it. Maybe he never heard of it. I don't know. But let's talk about it then. We're talking about Narmer, right? Ain't that who we talking about? Let's just see what's happening. Let's just talk about it. What does it say he did right there? He led a military expeditions through Lower Egypt to put down rebellions and expanded his territories into Canaan and where? Nubia. He initiated large building projects, and under his rule and urbanization increased. You lead military expeditions to bang on them. That's why I said he led a military expedition and banged on them. That's what the military's for. It's a fighting force against a neighbor who was a foreigner, the Nubian. Narmer wasn't the foreigner. The Nubian was the foreigner. And this is why he got together and led a military expeditions through Lower Egypt, put down rebellions, and expanded his territory all down into Canaan and Nubia, because he was banging on both of them. And they started building projects, like building borders so these motherfuckers won't cross and come up in here, which we're going to show, and increased urbanization. Let's just further talk about it right here real quick and see with these they giving you an animation like for children to even know this. Listen.
His rule by strategically marrying a Lower Egyptian princess named Neithotep, who became his queen and mother to his heir and successor, Horaha. The newly unified kingdom came to be known as the Two Lands among the ancient Egyptian people for most of their history. During his reign, Narmer expanded his newly unified kingdom's borders with military excursions in Canaan to the north and in Nubia to the south.
Say it again, and look at the bottom. You see these Caucasoids running down military expedition on the Nubians down there? Didn't he just say that? Let's hear it again.
During his reign, Narmer expanded his newly unified kingdom's borders with military excursions in Canaan to the north and in Nubia to the south. kingdom's borders with military excursions in Canaan to the north and in Nubia to the south. Fight kingdom's borders with military excursions in Canaan to the north and in Nubia to the south. Fight kingdom's borders with military excursions in Canaan to the north and in Nubia to the south.
Shut your mouth. It's not stupid. You just didn't know. This is how I'm going to do you for the next 2 hours. I wrote down every lie you told, and I'm going to show your lie and combat every lie. Oh, we got all night. I don't want to be all night. I just want to be a couple hours. But it might be 3 hours. You're on the hot seat getting waterboarded tonight, Smash Rockwell. We're shutting down this from the South bullshit once and for all tonight. We're going to give black folk truth because we want black folk informed. I know y'all agenda y'all agenda isn't about making sure black folk is informed properly. Y'all agenda is to inform them of shit that make you look good, that you get a financial gain off of and or attention off of. You really don't give a fuck about black folk like Chief X do. Thank you, Dr. Banu. I really appreciate it. Just right now, just off that one clip, and me showing you a source and informing you, this debate is over right now. I don't even really have to go any further. It's dead off the rip. Case closed. We can unplug this motherfucker and turn off the internet. I proved my point. It was not stupid, nigga. You was the one who's stupid. And this is a problem. When black folk are learning from stupid folk, this is a problem. This is why I had to set out to remodel the conscious community. Because there's mold in the walls. Let's go. Where do I want to go next? Speaking of military expeditions, let me just nail further down on that while we're here. Shit. While we're at it, let me let you know all them early dynasties. 0, 3, all the way up to 18, all of them Egyptians was running military expeditions down into Nubia for gold. They didn't want shit else from the Nubians. Luxury goods like gold and ivory. Prove that shit, Chief X. Okay. Where we at? Even Mentuhotep. We're going to talk about these early dynasties. You guys not going to escape anything today. I'm shutting down every avenue you think you're going to drive this car down. I got the coldest middle linebacker in the fucking NFL. Anytime you try to go up the middle, I got a linebacker. Like Lawrence Taylor's going to be sitting right there. Even Mentuhotep in the early dynasties. What did it say he did? Mentuhotep launched military campaigns under the command of his vizier, Keti South, into where? Into Nubia. They've always been banging on Nubians. What is you talking about? What they've been trying to do is hide this truth from y'all. This is why they don't really talk about it. I'm here to lead you to the promised land tonight. Mentuhotep, what did he do? He launched military campaigns under the command of his vizier Keti south into Nubia, which had gained its independence. Well, what did they need independence from? They was under the foot of the thumb of the Egyptians. They gained a little independence during the first intermediary period. Independence from what, Chief X? From being under the fucking foot of the Egyptians. They've been a tributary state, giving tribute to the superior state Egyptians for a long, long time. So Mentuhotep ran an army down on these niggas. In his 29th and 35th years of his reign, he did it. This is first attested to the appearance of the term Cush for Nubia in Egyptian records. This shit is on record. Ain't nobody got time to play with y'all tonight. Let's move on from Mentuhotep and see who else was running down on their ass. Hold on. No, that ain't it. Hold on. Second Cataract Fortress. That's what they was for, to keep foreigners out. Nubians were foreigners. Narmer was no foreigner. Let's go into this real quick. Now, this is what I want to get clarity early on. Because when people are honest, let me give you an example. When people are honest, not running an agenda, like conscious community, Afrocentrics will run an agenda when it comes to Afro-Asiatic language. They want to just force it, say Afro-Asiatic language came out of Africa. They don't want to give no credence to West Asia at all. But when you're honest, you do like me and say, hey, the experts and the scholars say they're not sure exactly. So sometimes there's skepticism. They're not sure if it started right there in West Asia in the Levant, or if it started in the Horn of Africa down in Africa, which were Afro-Asiatic speakers, Horners anyway. So when they say Afro-Asiatic language started in Africa, they trying to make sure it's in the Horn, but the Horn is still not true. So it's all a mind game. But the experts say they're not sure if it started right there in the Horn or if it started in the Levant. That's the proper answer. I can say that. I even did a video on it. So juxtapose that to where Nubia begins. Nubia, to different people, may start at the first cataract. To some, it may start at the second cataract. There's always skepticism. Personally, my stance, and you can argue if it comes from the first, but my argument's better. Personally, Nubia begins at the second cataract or below. That's my opinion. In today's geographic times, I'm right, and I will show you that tonight. You have to pay attention. If you don't have time to stay for this whole thing, I beg you to come back when you have time to finish this discussion. We're going to make everything clear. So some will claim it starts at the first cataract. Afrocentrics always want it at the first cataract. The closer Nubia can be north, that's what they're going to take. People who don't give a fuck will say second cataract. It's not a big pressing need for it to be more northern than it is. But Afrocentrics got something up their ass about this. They make everything more northern than it needs to be. I say second cataract and below. Some people say first cataract. But let's not get it all in a tizzy over it. Understand what I'm saying. The whole point is Narmer didn't come from Nubia. That's the main point. So don't get lost in the sauce of it's the first or second cataract. The main point is Narmer was nowhere near it, and he came from central, not the south. Narmer wasn't from Nubia. That's the main point. So don't get caught up in this petty little fringe argument. Let me just get that off the way because you guys are so fucking petty. All right, here we go. Bam. Not only did Menhotep, um, Amenhotep, Menhotep, and Narmer, all these early kings lead military expeditions into Narmer. They were building fortresses and cataracts, and they weren't building cataracts because cataracts are natural, but they did build fortresses to keep who out? Nubians, because they weren't Nubians, they were Egyptians. Let's read. The typical, let me just blow this up. I want y'all to read along with me. The typical images that are conjured when ancient Egypt is mentioned are those of gigantic pyramids, desert tombs, chariots racing across a vast expanse, and huge amounts of gold adoring temples and palaces. However, one of the greatest achievements of the Egyptian kingdoms was the creation of the fortress system. Where? The fortress system in Nubia. The fortress to keep them Nubians out, their enemies, foreigners. Menhotep, Narmer, Amenhotep are not foreigners. They're Egyptians. However, one of the greatest achievements of the Egyptian kingdoms was the creation of fortress systems in Nubia, which is now, this is why I say things like today's geography. I'm keeping everything clear and on point. Which is now northern Sudan. Another major achievement of the Egyptians was their assorted trade route. In particular, the route heading south on the river Nile, which was primarily focused upon what? The gold trade. I keep telling you guys, they built these fortresses and ran down on Nubians and wanted to get involved in the gold trade. They didn't want much from the Nubians except luxury goods. So they can run the luxury goods back up to the Mediterranean and floss on the Mediterranean world. So they're running trade routes and conquering what? Nubia and Canaan. So they're expanding their territory down into Nubia and Canaan, snatching up gold and selling gold and trading gold. I'm running it down to you, plain. In particular, the route heading south. So when the Egyptians went south, it was to bang on Nubians. The routes heading south on the Nile River, which was primarily focused upon the gold trade. The fortress system based around the second cataract. They built a fortress system around the second cataract. That was where the Egyptians felt is your beginning. Now they had a first cataract That was a natural border to keep you niggas out. But they ran down there to make a second fortress, basically, around the second cataract where you belong. And the Sima cataract successfully policed trade. They ran down there to police you niggas with the military and to set up trade routes and run y'all gold back up to the Mediterranean. You guys didn't have a writing system in Nubia at this time. You didn't understand hieroglyphs at this time. Dynasty 00 and Dynasty 1 Narmer. You didn't have pyramids in Nubia until 2,000 years later. From this time we're talking about Dynasty 0. They didn't learn from you. They didn't get anything from Nubia except luxury goods. This is just the reality. The fortress system based around the second cataracts and the Sinda cataract successfully policed trade, controlled local populations. They was controlling Nubians. Narmer led military expeditions down there to control niggas. Controlled populations, protected the borders, and acted as a supply base for launching campaigns south. They was launching military campaigns south. But they said Chief X is stupid. Traditionally, Egypt had borders at the northeastern delta Sinai, in the western delta at the Mediterranean Sea coast. What's the Sinai? Teach him that, Chief X. Teach him, Chief X. Let me show you. Is this it? Hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. That ain't it. I got rocks for y'all today. Cataracts. Don't have me going to the cataracts. Hold on. But that ain't it. Wait a minute. Did I take down the Sinai? Oh. There we go. I stay ready. You wasn't getting away. Mentu Hotep. Let's see again. Mentu Hotep launched military expeditions all down into Nubia, snatching up gold. Oh, we ain't finished. We teaching today. Oh, right here. Look, in the 5th year of his reign. What? Let me blow that up. This is another source. But he said, I can't find no sources. I don't know what I'm talking about. In the 5th year of his reign, and we're not even talking about, I'm knocking up all the early kings. 5th year of his reign, Amenhotep conducted campaigns against a territory called Akuyata and Nubia. Because Amenhotep was an Egyptian, not a Nubian. Amenhotep, Narmer, Mentuhotep weren't banging on their own people. They didn't lead military campaigns against their own people. They led military campaigns against the foreigners, their enemies, called the Nubians. They weren't Nubians. You niggas been lying. You niggas been lying your ass off. And you're going to have to pay for it. Let me get back to where, okay, here I was. Semi-Nubians. So, it says the Sinai Western Desert, right? That's what Semi-Nubian is, right? It's the region of Simina. It's 15 miles south of Wadi Halfa, right? Simina Cataract Um, let me just make it clear so you guys can understand. Hold on, hold on. Was this the slide? Wait a minute, was this the one? I'm gonna get back to this. This is gonna come in hand. This is gonna be important and come in hand. I'm gonna get back to this. Hold on. Okay, so let's finish this. Um, um, in the first nine cataracts situated in modern Aswan by 3000 3050 BC. See, we consider around 3100 BC the beginning of the dynasties of Egypt, beginning of Narmer. Okay, so this one's just saying by 3050 BC, a centralized state emerged in Egypt. So Egypt became a nation state basically. And it formed this point onwards that we have evidence of forts being used to strengthen Egypt's borders. So what they're saying is by 350 BC, when Egypt was forming, they have evidence of forts being used to strengthen Egypt's borders from Nubians. The area of focus for this article of Egyptian Middle Kingdom, which lasted from 2000 to 1700 BC. Okay, in recent research, Carl Graves have described Nubia as an ill-defined area. So when I was just giving you guys the example before I came to this article, I was saying some people think the first cataract, some people just think the second cataract. So because one person may say first, one person say second, doesn't mean they're wrong. It just has been an argument, right? It's just like it's been an argument, did Afro-Asiatic start in Levant or did it start at the Horn? You know what I mean? So it's unsure, but real people who are honest would tell you it's ill-defined. That's why I led that up to. Okay. So, in recent research, Carl Graves have described Nubia as an ill-defined area from around the first cataract on the Nile, roughly up to the region of Khartoum in Sudan. Okay. Egyptian interest in ancient Nubia can date back as far as the first dynasty, right? So the first dynasty, Narmer, and the other two, Mentuhotep and Amenhotep, the early kings, they've always had interest. The Egyptian interest in ancient Nubia can be dated back far back as the first dynasty and King Jur, however you pronounce this, as a rock drawing dated to Jur's reign in thought to illustrate a slave raid into Nubia. I'm telling you, they've been slave raiding and having Nubia's mine gold for them for a long time, beginning in the first dynasty with Narmer. Afrocentrics never wanted to teach you this reality, so here I am. Djour's interest in Nubia extended far as what? The second cataract of the Nile. So they're telling you that these Egyptians was going all the way down to the second cataract and fortifying things and snatching up gold. The long-term aim of the pharaohs, Mentuhotep, Narmer, Amenhotep, the long-term aim of the pharaohs appeared to be what? Capitalizing upon slaves and the natural resources found in Nubia. I'm sorry. This is just what it was. Egyptians and Nubians are different people. I haven't even gotten a quarter of a ways down, and we can pull the plug on all the shit these niggas been saying forever. Right now. The case is closed right now. I don't even have to go any further. Smash Rockwell right now is unconscious. And I haven't even got started. All that Dr. Ben shit, all these people talking about the South, All this bullshit these niggas been talking for 40 years has just been turned up upside down on its head. Everybody's heads, Jabari's, brother Reggie, Smash Rockwell, and Ankh, everybody's head has been chopped off by the West African machete just now in one swoop. Let's be honest. We can turn off the internet right now and ask these guys to get on their knees and repent for their evil and wicked ways. I, I've always said if you come for me, it's going to backfire. You should have took heed. You was hard-headed. So today, November 4th, 2022, you got to pay. You guys have committed intellectual treason for decades. And it's time to stop. I'm glad there's a coalition being built to slay falsehood and tell the truth and take no prisoners. We sick of it. We sick of the Hotep hustle. The Hotep hustle been dead, but I'm just gonna say it's been on this last leg. But today I'm gonna put it in a coffin. I'm gonna make another coffin because it's it's in about 10 coffins already. We're just preparing another coffin. So this is the coffin text. Ah, I love it. What's up, Jesus Price? You said you at the beginning? Yeah. Thank you, brother. If you came in late, you should go to the beginning. You don't have to watch it in real time. It's a lot you missed. You got to get the full understanding and just catch up later. I don't want you to miss a tick. If you came in here late, fuck the chat. Rewind this motherfucker and watch it on your own time and speed from the beginning. All right. So, real quick, let's go through what Smash is talking about. And we're going to go by and play him or them, and then we're going to show better.
And I was watching some of Chief X super erroneous claims. And after a person super erroneous claims, some of Chief X super erroneous claims. And after a person reads to the brother a source.
So, obviously, so far, he's been the only erroneous one so far. And my claims we have seen have been true. He's wrong so far. We're going to 10, it's 3-0 right now. Let's go.
Scholastic source. He come back with his rhetoric. And I'm just about to show how confused people be.
Now, this is Smash Rockwell's live stream that he did for almost 3 hours called Researching Chematology. This is how hurt he is from me telling truth on Sonetta. He tries to combat it and keep you guys back in obscurity and in la la land. I'm trying to bring you out of la la land into reality. He's trying to keep you in la la land because his agenda and his livelihood and his reputation depends on it. because he's been teaching a certain thing for so long. His foolish pride has struck these niggas. It's called foolish pride. They're unable to be honest now because they never wanted to be seem like they were wrong in the past. So that's why I call it foolish pride. I don't have foolish pride because I can tell you I used to be in the code and I used to believe this, but now I don't, and I got tattoos to prove it. They don't have the deep down honesty and the integrity like I do. So they have to continue the lie. So let's go.
right here on YouTube. I might have to rock the side angle more. Let me hook up that side.
Oh wait a minute. Am I not even sharing my screen? I'm sorry. Oh shit, y'all ain't telling me. Hold on.
I could get me some light. No, side angle like this. Yeah, that's cool. Then I could just think and chill and look at my other monitor and just build and talk. So on this video, Chief X says, and he's told the 100% truth, that Smash Rockwell said he didn't want to debate. Chief X says, and he's told the 100% truth, that Smash Rockwell said he didn't want to debate. True. That Smash Rockwell said he didn't want to debate. 100% correct. I did say that. Now, I didn't say it for any other reason, but besides that's a discourse that I don't believe is a beneficial one.
So these are the excuses that they make not to face me in the ring. But he'll sit here and do 2 hours and 43 minutes presentation on me and my claims. So he can manipulate you without me in front of him. I'm not worthy, but you're spent all this time dedicated to me. It's all cap, y'all. They're scared, is what he's saying.
See, there's no one in academia who says the things that Chief X says.
I just showed you there are people in academia who say the things Chief X says. 100% of what I said, academia says.
All of his sources are outdated. So the person who takes that soapbox to preach against, to like get on a flyer or whatever, to speak against that right there, that diminishes somewhat like your own stance. Everything he says is unsourceable. If you look it up, you'll find
Okay, I just showed sources of everything I said and proved it when you said I was crazy. Let's just continue.
it's false. And so but when you can watch how, for some reason, even if you watch and listen to this video, the brother must think that he dropping some bombs or something. Sometimes people
Now, if someone says, just like he just did, or the brother must think he's dropping bombs, that means that the brother's probably be dropping bombs. And this is why he wants to get up here and do 2 hours and 43 minutes. Because them bombs done exploded. And he feels the need that he got to try to fight back. So, I definitely dropped some bombs. Let's go.
say just Google it. Anybody can Google it in hopes that you won't Google it. Google that he dropping some bombs or something. Sometimes people say just Google it. Anybody can Google it in hopes that you won't Google it.
Not me. He knows people do that because that's how he is. That's how deceitful people think. When I say Google it, I'm begging you to Google it. I really want you to do that shit to see that what I said is a motherfucking fact.
just Google it and dropping some bombs or something. Sometimes people say, just Google it. Anybody can Google it in hopes that you won't Google it. And maybe when they say, just Google it, it's because they have the confidence that they can't find the information no place else. So they're trying to lead you to the wiki where they got the information from. But if you watch some of these claims, and we'll go over them, and since we're trying to get a cool, do me a favor, like the video if you can.
And West
All
Africa.
right, just close out, brother. Close out.
Okay, so let me close out right now and say that I cannot let Black folk be intentionally miseducated. On the panel, the brother.
This is the funny part about
This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give Smash Rockwell a shout out for being the first person ever to actually play my words and then talk about what I said. Everyone for 2 years have been refused and been scared to do that because if they play my words, they're gonna see I'm saying something that they're really not saying. Smash Rock was the first person ever in this presentation to literally play me and then talk. This is what I've been telling people to do forever. Play me saying that. Don't listen to nobody and make no claims about Chief X. Unless this is what I do to people. I play their words and then I debunk it. This is what I always do. So we will see clear there's no mistake, there's no lying on nobody, there's no mind games with nobody. So I shout out to Smash Rockwell for finally doing that. Let's go though.
everything. The charlatan always does that. They make the righteous claim. I can't allow people on this, watching this panel, to be miseducated. So I need to join the panel.
Between Nubians.
Oh, I thought
he
I
was
was
speaking
muted.
about Nubia. He didn't mention any connection between Nubians and West
All
Africa.
right, just close out, brother. Close out.
Okay, so let me close out right now and say that I cannot let Black folk be intentionally miseducated. On the panel, the brother.
This is the funny part about everything. I can't allow people on this, watching this panel, to be miseducated. So I need to join the panel and give out the most misinformation.
Brother in the middle said Narmer is a Nubian. Jabari knows that's not true.
What is he talking about? This is why he.
What do you mean what I'm talking about? I paused it. I'm saying that Jabari knows that Narmer is not from Nubia. You're trying to co-sign him and act like Narmer's from Nubia. You're wrong today.
Talking about
Nubian. Brother in the middle said Narmer is a Nubian. Jabari knows that's not true.
What is he talking about? This is why he scraping skedaddle. I gotta go every time Smash on the panel. What are you talking about? Jabari knows that's not true. Jabari over here thinking like, what kind of fool is this? Listen.
So this is just showing you that he thinks Narmer's Nubian, and he's saying Jabari thinks Narmer's Nubian, and that they're laughing at me for saying that he's not Nubian. They're all in cahoots. Reggie too. So this is just showing you the solidification of the devils.
Look at this. And I'm gonna show y'all some stuff.
Narmer was from a place called THINIS.
What the hell are you talking about? Huh?
Pause. I said Narmer's from THINIS. They don't want nobody to know this because they want you guys to think Narmer's from Nubia and not THINIS. It's real simple, but he is from THINIS. And I said anyone can Google and look this up. Narmer is from THINIS. Period. All the experts agree, and I'll show you. He's playing like I'm stupid and don't know what I'm talking about. Did he not know this? So you guys are studying from someone who didn't know this? So the whole community is studying from subpar teachers who didn't know this. Just think about that. 40 years, niggas been thinking that they were right about Narmer coming from the South or Nubia. We're going to prove he's not. I haven't even gotten into it yet, but just think about what I'm saying.
Huh? This is wiki work, y'all. This ain't what they putting in academia. You ain't about to find a book that corroborate this old ass manito.
He said you're not going to find a book that corroborates that. It's nothing in academia or a book that corroborates that, he said. That's what he said. Okay. So let's do this then. Let's go here. Clearly, there's a place called THINIS. And he said there's no book or anything that corroborates that. Well, let me tell you the main book that corroborates that. The book of books. Called the Book of the Dead. In the Book of the Dead, there's this statement that says when the god Osiris triumphs, Joyeth goes around in where? THINIS. In where? The Book of the Dead. Not just any old book. A sacred book speaks about THINIS. Hold on. Let me talk to you for a second. We got to understand this deep. A sacred book. One of the most sacred books in Kemet speaks of a place called THINIS in Egypt. What's sacred is what some people or a culture holds to their heart, to the core, to the essence in the Book of the Dead. It's their religious manual. It's more than serious to the Egyptians. Not Chief X. Chief X is telling you THINIS is real because the fucking Egyptians say it's real. It's in the Book of the Dead. I just showed you. And they held the place sacred to them. All Egyptologists, as we'll see, consider THINIS to be legit. The consensus. No, you're wrong, Jonathan. You said it's not no book, and I showed you it's in the holiest of the holies. Stop the cap. The cat's out the bag. Narmer's not from Nubia. We can close this up right now. It's over. It's curtains for you. Where was we? Where were we? Where was I? Oh, there we go. We back at it. Thinis. Right there. And I said Central Egypt, which he seemed to have a problem with. If it's off center, I mean, goddamn, are we being that petty? That Thinis is off center from central. Therefore, it's lower. Therefore, variance wrong. No, the point is that it's in Egypt, not Nubia. And that's where Narmer's from. Let's go. Thinis was the capital city, not just any old punk ass city, of the first dynasties, which what we're talking about, Narmer and shit like that. Of what? Ancient Egypt. Not Nubia. Ancient Egypt. Not Nubia. Thinis remains undiscovered. He tripped on that. It remains undiscovered. But when he learns a little more about the story, what remains undiscovered is a monument or an archaeological site. And that remained undiscovered because it's fucking Dynasty 00. Everything is, a lot of shit has remained undiscovered. A lot of things are sketchy. They're just trying to tell you the area it's in. So if you want to be petty, we can talk about a whole bunch of other sketchy shit in Dynasty 00. That's all they're trying to say. But they're saying it is what? Well attested by ancient writers, including the classical historian Manetho. It's well attested, right? And they go into the Thinite Confederacy. Maybe a lot of people didn't know about Thinis. That's why niggas got their panties in a bunch about Thinis. Okay? It's also telling you means or Narmer, whatever you want to call it. I'm not here to play games with you. Call it what the fuck you want. They're both the same, from the same area. They united Egypt. Means or Narmer was Egyptian. And they was the first Egyptian pharaoh, not Nubian pharaoh. And they break it down. Then it's kind of deep decline later on in time is what they mean. From Dynasty 3, when the capital was relocated to Memphis. But the capital before was Thinis, a real place. That's even in their Book of the Dead. They don't know the precise location, they say, because they don't know the precise location of a site that used to be there that's not there in 00 time, fucking prehistory time. God damn, give it a break. But they know the area within some feet. Okay, then it became a steep decline when the capital relocated to Menes, which was thought to be the first true stable capital after the unification of Old Egypt by Menes. Then its location on the border, competing such and such and such and such in the first intermediate period, in its proximity to an oasis of possible military importance. They're saying it's possibly situated near a military of possible importance. In short, Thinis some old continuous significance in the Old Kingdom. This was a brief respite, and Thinis eventually lost this position as regional administrative center by the Roman period. So by the Roman period time, after all this time, Thinis wasn't as important anymore because it was fucking Dynasty 0, and here's the Roman period, okay? But it was a real thing to people in academia. You niggas just didn't know. Look, Thinis remained a significant religious center. It houses a tomb and a mummy of the regional deity. In ancient Egypt religious cosmology, as seen where in the Book of the Dead, Thinis played a role as a mythical place in heaven. So they're saying they don't know the precise location because of some archaeological remains is not there because it was so long ago. They do know the area where it was at. So they have an Egyptological consensus places it in the vicinity in Abydos near modern Gerga. This is the experts, the Egyptologist consensus, not Chief X. I just know what they teach in the reality. So I'm saying THINIS is real, and that's where Narmer's from. Smash Rockwell made a whole hour and a half acting like THINIS is some fake ass place and there's no such thing, and where did I get that information from, and I can't find no source on it. Everybody knows about THINIS. This is why I'm saying you guys study from some dumb niggas. They just didn't teach you about THINIS. But it's the consensus in ancient Egypt with Egyptologists. And that's where they place it. I didn't place it there. Okay. I don't want to miss something. Hold on. That's what I'm saying. It's an archaeological site that is not there because it's so old. But the area is still there. They know the area. Okay? So it tells you right there. The archaeological site where some construction is said to be. That's not there no more because it's old. It's fucking prehistory. God damn. All right. So let's just go back to what he's lying about.
These dudes is. Hold on. Hold on. Let's go back. He just told you where it was. You see how fake these dudes is? I'm showing you directly. He just told you with certainty where this place is. Hold on. We're going to go in. I'm just showing you for face value how to take these dudes. Look at this and use your own sensibilities to judge this.
Is Narmer from THINIS? It'll tell you. THINIS is in central Egypt.
Look at Jabari's face again. See? He like, oh my God, he messing up the Thynite Confederacy. He don't know nothing about this. He just learning this from quick Googling. And his Google, he showed you what he Googled. It's Narmer from THINIS. Or Narmer is. So the scholars think that Menez may be Narmer. You didn't know that? You thought it was conclusive that this person who Manito called Menez was Narmer?
Now he's sitting here with a straw man argument, arguing about is he Narmer or is he Menace. I know people are confused and academia doesn't say which one is who. That's not my argument. My argument is Narmer's not Nubian and he's not from Nubia. So he created a straw man argument, but he's trying to clown me like I don't know what I'm talking about, and there's no such thing as THINIS. But here we go.
We trying to figure that out. Do I have to click on that to prove it? Look, probably pronounced Mena was a pharaoh of the early first dynasty, ancient Egypt, credited by but they approximate. So he claimed, don't know. This is craziness. You didn't know that? We trying to figure that out. Do I have to click on that to prove it? Look, probably pronounced Mena was a pharaoh of the early first dynasty, ancient Egypt, credited by classical tradition of having united Upper and Lower Egypt as the founder of the first dynasty. Now, watch this. The identity of Menes is the subject of ongoing debate.
Who cares about the identity if it's means or Narmer? This is what you call a nigga erratic with a straw man argument. But let's just do this real quick. I want to move forward. He calls me an egghead and act like I don't know what I'm talking about, but there's clearly a thinness. And how you know it's a thinness, and how all these people be daggering themselves. He talks shit about thinness for a whole 30 minutes. I don't have time to play it. Then he goes here.
Homopolis talking about. Look, they got
Then he goes here, which is a map of the nomes of Egypt, which him and Asar, excuse me, and Wujaru use religiously, this map. They use this to make points to in their scholarship. They always use this specific map with the names of all these cities and places. Everyone who knows Wujaru and Smash Rock will know this map is a staple to make any of their points. And guess what's on this map?
got THINIS right here on the
Ah!
map. Look, they got THINIS right here on the map
And it's on his map, Thinis. And what's it next to? Abydos.
next to Abydos. What? Look, they got THINIS right here on the map
So this map is bogus that he's been using? Is that what he's saying? There's no such thing as Thinis, but it's on this map of yours. He daggered himself. Let's go.
next. Look, they got THINIS right here on the map next to Abydos. What's this idiot talking about? It's in the center of Egypt. All of that stuff was just craziness. Look, here go Nakata and Nubet, what you call Nubia right there.
He's calling Nakata Nubia. Just pay attention. He said he clowned me for acting like Abydos was close to the center, although it may be off center. Who's tripping? But Thinis is above, more northern than Abydos. So we're going to clear these two things up. He's saying Thinis is not close to the center, and he's clowned me for it. We're going to prove him wrong. And it's by Abydos. And it's on this map he's using.
Man, these people was crazy. Look at that, what you call Nubia right there.
Oh, that's another claim. I'm sorry. He's calling Nakata Nubia. We're going to clean that up. So two things, keep that in mind. He called Nakata Nubian. Let's hear him.
Man, these people was and Nubet. All of that stuff was just craziness. Look, here go Nakata and Nubet, what you call Nubia right there.
He
Man,
said they go Nakata, called Nubet, which is called Nubia. So Smash is teaching black folk that Nakata is Nubia. I told you in the beginning they want to make anything that's down there more northern than it really is. They want to take anything that's south, but it's not theirs. He's wrong about Nakata is Egypt. Thinis is way above that, and that's Egypt. Abydos is Egypt. Aswan is Egypt. He's wrong.
these people was crazy. Look at this. Thinis. Now, this is conjecture. That now we see how they arrived to say that Thinis was close to Abydos. Modern scholars put it close to Abydos. Are you saying this ain't Nubia? Here go Nubia right here. The border, Nakata, Nubia, wet.
Listen to him again.
Here go Nubia. Put it close to Abydos. Are you saying modern scholars put it close to that Thinis was close to Abydos? Now we see how they arrived to say that Thinis was close to Abydos. Modern scholars put it close to Abydos.
So the consensus put it close to Abydos. That's why I put it close to. I'm with the consensus. It's nothing wild. He's been wrong. He's daggering himself and don't even know it.
Are you saying this ain't Nubia? Here go Nubia right here. The
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Thinis is not Nubia, and neither is Nakata. He's crazy.
Border. Are you saying this ain't Nubia? Here go Nubia
Yes, I'm saying that's not Nubia.
right here. The borders. Are you saying this ain't Nubia? Here go.
Yes, I'm saying that's not Nubia. So, in other words, Smash is saying Abydos, Thinis, and Nakata is Nubia. First, he was saying Thinis is not real. Now he's saying it's Nubia or part of Nubia. See, this is what we mean by these niggas as horrible teachers and liars. Just listen, I'm playing his words. I don't have to lie on him.
Nubia close. Say that Thinis was close to Abydos. Modern scholars put it close to Abydos. Are you saying this ain't Nubia? Here go Nubia right here. The border. Nakata. Nubia. Wet. You want to argue that? So the biggest argument you can make is that Nubia is Nubia, Nubwet. But when you read the glyphs, you're going to learn that these both say Nub. Nub right here. Both of these towns were regions for gold. This is why new scholars are writing articles about the cultural.
He said these are towns for what? Gold. So this is how I know he knows that they was coming down there to snatch that gold up. But he gets caught up.
Entanglement between these towns were regions for gold. This is why new scholars are writing articles about the cultural entanglement between Nakata and Kom Ombo. So let's look. We got Nakata, number 5. Bruh, Thinis is number 8. Of the first, look, Taseti number 1. Thinis is number 8. We got 42 of these. How is that in the center?
Okay. He's caught up in another straw man argument. Because my argument is really not as in the center. My argument for real is Narmer's not Nubian and he didn't come from Nubia. So he comes up with another straw man argument about it's not in the Thinis, where he just realizing now where Narmer came from. It's not in the center. He's trying to force it more down, more south. He's trying to force it into Nubia, but it just ain't there. And we're going to prove that. Okay? So I'm saying it's close to the center, Thinis is, which is above Abydos. Now, you know what is right? Google Maps. Don't listen to Chief X or Smash Rockwell. Google Maps will tell you. Here we go. What did it say about Google Maps? Google Maps uses satellites to know your location up to around 20 meters. They're going to get it on point. When you're done, when you're inside buildings or underground, the GPS is sometimes inaccurate. But that satellite will put you right on fucking point. And you trust it. That's why everybody uses Google Maps. So let's see what Google Maps say. Let's start off with something lower. Aswan would be southern Egypt. But let's not do that. Let's just go to, what were we talking about? Oh, let's go to Abydos, because it's near Abydos. Let's talk about it. Let Google tell us where it's at. I got Abydos. You see right there? Let Google. Thinis is above Abydos. And Abydos is damn near center. It's just off center a little bit. Who's being petty except Smash Rockwell? Ain't that center? Whether I zoom in or zoom out, it's a little off center, but basically a center. I'm not making this up. Tell them to argue with Google Maps. And that's Abydos. Right there. Abydos. THINIS is north of Abydos. And there's Egypt. This line is today's geography of where Sudan is and what some of us call Nubia. THINIS is center, nigga. Like the fuck I said it was. If it's off center, so what? You don't know what you're talking about. This is where Narmer's from. THINIS. He's from Central Egypt. That's Abydos, and it's damn near center. Aswan is below that, and that's still Egypt. So no, nigga. You're wrong. Even it tells you Aswan. Location within Egypt. Abydos is above that. Nakata is above that. This case is closed. You lied about Nakata. You said that was Nubia. You're wrong. Aswan is not even Nubia. That's Egypt. And everything we spoke on is above Aswan. Aswan is where the first cataract is. Nigga, you wrong. I'm right. Is a city where? In southern Egypt. Aswan is not fucking Nubia. And when we're talking about today's geography and when we're teaching black folk and trying to have them to get an understanding, it's a cataract right there at Aswan. That's the first cataract. That's the first natural border to keep its enemies, the Nubians, out. They run Aswan from ancient times till now. It's theirs. The Aswan Dam is of the now of the what is called the first cataract. Cataracts of the Nile. Right here, it tells you right here, Sudan way down here, Napata's above that. That's not Nakata. Aswan way up here. All up in Egypt. Egypt to me doesn't start to this second cataract. People can think it starts at the first. Some people, even some Egyptologists put it at the first. But the majority don't. The consensus is with Chief X. To me, it's at the second cataract. So he's wrong about Nakata. He's wrong about Aswan. He's wrong about THINIS. He's wrong about Narmer being from way down here. Fucking cartoon. Right? Now, this is fucking center or off center to anybody with half a brain. Therefore, either Smash or don't have half a brain, or people following him is naive and stupid as fuck and is being taken for a ride by a shyster who's been hotep hustling them forever. You come for the bull, you get the horn. Never fuck with the bull, you get the horn. Now, we heard him say Nakata is Egypt. Right here, it tells you something different. It says Nakata's, excuse me, he said Nakata's Nubia. We heard him. I played him saying it. He's been wrong 10 times so far, and we're halfway through. This is your king? Hey, Ankh, I know you listening. Tell Kaba to bring her ass up in here and listen to this shit too. Tell Kaba, text this video to Kaba's lying ass and let her watch this shit too. Since she wanna cheerlead the nigga Smash Rockwell. Tell her to cheerlead this real shit. Nakata's Egypt. What are you talking about, Smash? You need a geography class. You need to stop trying to teach people this. This ain't your motherfucking lane, clearly. There we go right there, Nakata Central Hospital. Let's zoom on out and show you where Nakata really is. Since you stealing everybody's shit, let's just show where it's really at. Oops. Oops, I did that wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. Let's go like this. So we're just on Nakata Central Hospital. You zoom out. Damn near Nakata's damn near Central. Its name is Nakata Central Hospital. Now, I don't know if that has anything to do with being in Central Africa. But, wink wink. Chief X might be on to something. But Nakata, Google Maps ain't lying. Smash Rockwell is lying. That's damn near center. But if you want to put it in southern Egypt, feel free. But I'm calling it central. Now, Aswan is central. Watch what it does. Excuse me. Aswan is south. So, there go Aswan Hotel right here. Oops. I don't want to lose it. Okay, there we go. Talk to him, Google Maps. Put these bars on it. Okay, so there go Aswan Hotel. You see? Okay, so let's zoom out and see where Google Maps places it within the borders of the country of Egypt. Now that's south. But it's still Egypt. See, these niggas been lying to you about everything above Aswan and acting like it's just so south. And Narmer came from Aswan. Narmer came from above Aswan, and Aswan is not even in Nubia. Just think about it. Aswan is even in Egypt. But THINIS in Abydos is way above that. So Narmer, to all of Egyptologists, and the consensus came from THINIS. They're wrong. I'm teaching tonight. Now, right here where this dot is Aswan. It is South Egypt or Southern Egypt or the southern part of Egypt. But as you see, these waters under it. Lake Nasir, Abu Simbel, and right here in the border, damn near Wadi Halif, is where Nubia starts in today's geography. That's the line. In today's geography, Aswan is way up here. It's not even on the Sudan border. It's north of it. The second cataract is way down here, bro. Down here by Wadi Khalifa. Right where Google Map puts it. That's where the second cataract is. Let's go to their map that they love to use right here. But he used this and he didn't want to go Upper Egypt, Lower Egypt right here. Excuse me. Lower Nubia right here. Hold on. That's where Nubia begins. Wadi River right here. On the right it says Abu Simbel. And it's right next to the second cataract right here. You see? That's where Nubia begins to me. And it's right by where it says Lower Nubia. The second cataract to me and to all most mapping systems begin around the second cataract. And THINIS is way up here. Highlight it. Let's blow THINIS up. Oops. On they map. Oops. Maybe I need to make it smaller. THINIS. Above Abydos. Oops. THINIS right here. Above Abydos, which Google Maps said is damn near center, not Chief X. I believe that satellite in the sky in its accuracy over you, Smash Rockwell. So what I'm saying is Narmer came from THINIS. I said damn near Central Africa. Excuse me, Central Egypt. Central Egypt means center of Egypt. So when these niggas been telling you Narmer come from the south, they've been lying. I know you're mad right now, but be mad at yourself and be mad at them for miseducating you. Don't be mad at me for telling you the truth. So, look how far we got to go down. We got to keep going down all the way here to get to Lower Nubia and the second cataract. Narmer's not from no motherfucking Nubia. He's above even the Upper Egypt sign. I used to say in the middle of Lower Egypt and Upper Egypt. Damn near. So what am I off center? So Narmer unified the two same people because Lower Egyptians are the same people genetically as Upper Egyptians. They're the same people. He just united his own people. THINIS is in the middle of Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. He's center. You lying ass niggas. That's where Narmer's from. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? So Dr. Ben was wrong. He didn't come from They didn't come from the mountain of the moon where Happy dwelled way down in fucking Victoria. They just wanted you to think that way in the cult. The cult is powerful. Some say, as we'll see, because I'm not even finished, that Narmer even come from Memphis. See, he wanted to argue with me about Manetho, but he believes Herodotus. Fuck both of them. Let's just be the middleman. Narmer goes with, no, excuse me. Since you love Herodotus, Herodotus feels Narmer came from Memphis, which was a capital that THINIS was moved from. Oh, now we're thinking. Remember earlier, I said after the capital, when the first dynasty, the first capital was THINIS, and we showed that. The second capital became Memphis. I've showed that. Now, Herodotus thinks Narmer came from Menes, which is Lower Egypt or Northern Egypt. Either way, I win. Whether we use Herodotus or Manetho, you lose. I win with both. I will show you that Herodotus goes with Memphis and I go with Thinis. Either way, we both against you, Smash Rockwell. But you hold Herodotus in high esteem. So you can't believe Herodotus one place but disbelieve him on this place. It doesn't make sense. You got to stop flip-flopping at some point. Let's talk. This is a map he used. This is his video, remember? And that's the map I just used too. And I just used this map for you. So I'm using his words and his maps to turn everything him upside down on his head. I'm showing you he's double talking in triple time, basically. Let's go. So they keep thinking people are coming from the south. I'm telling you, with God love, that the only time they're going so deep into Nubia, setting up fortresses and borders, is to control the gold and those luxurious resources. That's it. They weren't learning anything intellectually. The intellectual world was in the Mediterranean world to Egyptians. I'm not being mean spirited to sub Saharan Africa. I'm just telling you how it worked out and how it was with them and how they felt. You can feel bad about it or think I'm talking that shit. You know what I mean? But you need to accept reality and come up out of la la land. My main mission is to bring you back to West Central Africa and let you know where home is, where we descend from, and get you up out of North Africa, right? I'm here as your help. So this is what we're going to do. Oops. I'm going to show you real quick. Because people got short attention spans. Let me skip forward a little bit out of the order I was going to go in. Hope this don't throw me off. Let me just show you about the military expositions and why. I have to show that. Um, where should I go? Let me just do this.
How wrong center. So the brother said it was in the center. Let's go back and listen to Mr. Speak with certainty. And look how wrong people be. Look, just listen to how it sound with somebody dead wrong. Listen.
I speak with certainty and be sure, and I'm confident, or else I won't say it. So I just proved him wrong. I just want to go back and show you I did.
Miss
Just listen to, and look how wrong. Sure, let's go back and listen to Mr. Speak with certainty. And look how wrong people be. Look, just listen to how it sound with somebody dead wrong. Listen.
Miseducated. On the panel, the brother in the middle said Narmer is a Nubian. Jabari knows that's not true. Narmer was from a place called THINIS. Anyone can look this up. Is Narmer from THINIS? It'll tell you. THINIS is in central Egypt, not the south, not Nubia. THINIS is in central Egypt.
You see that? See how much certainty he said there were. First of all, scholars don't know where it was at. And second of all, the location that they located it in is in the eighth. So remember this, just like you remember sports scores. It's in the eighth cataract, right? Look, you can see it for you. I mean, not the eighth cataract, the eighth known. See number 8 right here? Then it's next to Abydos.
He's so wrong, he had this petty argument, and even on the petty argument, I spanked him. I don't care if people put Thinis in southern Egypt. Fine. It is off center. My point is, he didn't come from Nubia, like their lie says. Okay? So let me skip forward.
Here goes Lower Egypt or what have you. So this number 22 right here is the last known of Upper Egypt. He said it was in the center of Egypt. That means it would be around here somewhere. But it's not even in the center of Upper Egypt. Divide 22 by 2. You got 11. Here go the center. Badarian culture was smack dab in the center of Upper Egypt.
I'm just showing his petty argument again, which I proved wrong already. Let's go.
What's South? And this is who teach with all this certainty that Narmer wasn't a Nubian.
Narmer was from a place.
That Narmer wasn't a Nubian.
So Smash is trying to tell people and teach black folk that Narmer's a Nubian. So Smash is intentionally lying to you guys. This is what he does.
Narmer was from a place called THINIS. Anyone can look this up. Is Narmer from THINIS? It'll tell you.
Narmer wasn't a Nubian.
Narmer was from a place called Nubia.
Not Nubia. 100% incorrect again.
He said I was 100% incorrect. He didn't even give me a little bit. He didn't say he's right about this. He's trying to shut down the whole notion because he know the Hotep hustle's over. But let's just go ahead to this real quick.
Him. He couldn't have a source on.
He turned around.
The brother out of his league.
Anyone can Google this and look it up. That's where Narmer is from. And once Narmer unified his people, the two lands, Upper and Lower Egypt, guess what he did? He turned around and led a military exposition on the Nubians.
That's the stupidest shit in the world.
He calls it stupid. He's just stupid as fuck.
Let me prove how he can't come up when he couldn't have a source on this.
Okay. So I just want to go back to this real quick, y'all. I just want to show because people may have came in late. Narmer did. He led military expeditions through Lower Egypt to put down rebellions and expanded his territory into Canaan and Nubia. With what? Oops. With, I didn't do that. Lost my spot. Just to let you know, we're talking about Narmer. So let's move forward to Nehotep. Who's Nehotep? Since they're saying Narmer's from Nubia, we've already proved where Narmer's from, which is Thinis. Let's go to Nehotep as backup proof. Nehotep was an ancient Egyptian queen. Did they say ancient Nubian? No. They said she's an ancient Egyptian queen consort living and ruling during an early what? First dynasty. Narmer, the first king of the first dynasty. This is when she ruled during the first dynasty. She once was thought to be a male ruler. Her outstandingly large mastaba in the royal, whatever that word is, surrounded her name on several seal impressions, previously led Egyptologists and historians to the erroneous belief that she might have been an unknown king. As the understanding of early Egyptian writings developed, scholars learned that Nehotep was in fact the woman of extraordinary rank. She was subsequently considered to be the wife of United Egypt's first pharaoh, Narmer, and the mother of Ahor. This is Narmer's chick, Nehotep. That's who Narmer was fucking. That was Narmer's girl. And guess what? She's Egyptian, as you read. Right? So if she's Egyptian, Narmer, his wife, was Egyptian. Check this out. Her name was found at Helwan, something such and such, Abydos, where Thinis is. Did you see? Her name was found at Helwan, Abydos, in Nequata. Places I showed you that's damn near central Egypt. Abydos, Thinis is above Abydos. And they said Thinis is next to Abydos. His wife's name was found in Abydos. I know what I'm talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. It appears on their clay seal impressions and ivory tags and inscriptions on stone walls, all up in Abydos, his wife. Narmer is not from Nubia. He was not Nubians. Jabari, Smash Rockwell, Ankh, Brother Reggie needs to stop lying and repent to you guys. Okay? Most of the objects are found in her burial complex in the tombs of Aha and Dejer on several clay stairs. Nehotep's name was written inside the double serek, and between the merged serek perches the divine standard underneath. One usual seal impression gives the name such and such, whatever it is. So his wife is Nakata. Wait a minute. Let me just get to some things first. Yeah, so she's from that Nakata area, and she's the wife of Narmer in Egyptian mythology and Egyptian history. Okay? Now, it's smashing them who's lying about them being Egyptian. Whether his name is Means, hold on, y'all, or Narmer, they're both Egyptians. We can switch to Means. It don't mean no thing to me. What is Means? If Narmer is Nubian, so is Means. But is Means Meanies no, Nubian? No, ancient Egyptian. He was a pharaoh of the early dynastic period of ancient Egypt, credited by classical tradition with having united Upper and Lower Egypt. Some say Mean, some say Narmer, but he united Upper and Lower Egypt. They're the same person. Nobody says Meanies is Nubian because you guys forget your lies and you get caught up in your lies. Nobody has ever said Means is Nubian, and he's the same goddamn person. The identity of Means is a subject of ongoing debate, although mainstream Egypt, excuse me, here we go. Although mainstream Egyptological consensus identifies Means with the Nakata 3 ruler Narmer. Fuck what you niggas is talking about. Mainstream consensus, the academians, the Egyptologists, the PhDs mainly consider Means and Narmer the same motherfucker. Both pharaohs are credited with the unification of Egypt to different degrees. Okay? Do we got to keep going on? They said something about his name. The Egyptian form MNJ is taken from the Turin and Abydos King's List. There we go with Abydos again, next to THINIS. That's what this nigga's name is. Scorpion King and all that. That's Egypt. That's not Nubia. Okay, we can go on and on. Let's get to THINIS. Hold on, where's that at? Let's talk about it. Hold on. THINIS. As we said, THINIS is in their Great Book of the Dead. It's in their heart and soul. It's in the core of their religious beliefs. THINIS was real to them. And as you see, as we talked about, Egyptological consensus places it in the vicinity of ancient Egypt's modern day Gurga. Gurga. Check this out. Remember that. Gurga. Check this out, family. Let's just go and shut this shit down. Let's talk about Pharaoh running into the Nubians.
During his reign, Narmer expanded his newly unified kingdom's borders with military excursions in Canaan to the north and in Nubia to the south. Unified kingdom's borders with military excursions in Canaan to the north and in Nubia. His newly unified kingdom's borders with military excursions in Canaan to the north and in Nubia to the south. He founded the city of Memphis, which is strategically.
Then he founded Memphis. Narmer founded Memphis.
Located to the south. He founded the city of Memphis, which is strategically located at the mouth of the Nile.
So from THINIS to Memphis. I know about Narmer better than all these cats did. You should have been listening to Chief X. Memphis is way up in North Egypt. This ain't got nothing to do with no Nubian business. This is Mediterranean people's business. This ain't y'all business. Memphis all up in the delta and the marsh and the wetlands. This was Narmer was fucking around at in the Mediterranean. He was going up and down. It was no cataracts at all between Thinis and Memphis. You can ride a boat straight up there and be unobstructed from a cataract. Hold on, y'all. What's up, baby girl? What's up, sugar? Live.
You doing it live?
I'm live right now. They can hear you.
Okay, well, call me later.
Bye, babe. All right, all right. So, listen.
Nile Delta, and it quickly developed into a commercial and cultural powerhouse within the region. Symbols such as the Ankh, the ancient Egyptian symbol of life, and the Djed, a four-tiered pillar representing Osiris's spine, were popularized under his rule. Narmer was entombed in a necropolis near the upper Egyptian city of Abydos.
Nubians don't have nothing to do with the origin of the Ankh people. Come on now. You guys are really reaching.
Where the tombs of many of Egypt's first rulers are found. Through blood and conquest, Narmer became Egypt's first pharaoh, initiating the early dynastic period.
Through blood and conquest.
Consider liking, subscribing, and clicking the bell icon below.
Okay. As we see, we showed Narmer with a little children's animation of Narmer in his military expedition raiding Nubia for goods and resources. Even the children fucking know. Let's move forward. Let's talk about THINIS some more. Oh, here go THINIS. Even fucking for kids learning and shit. They got THINIS up in here. THINIS, ancient city in ancient Egypt, is ancient Egyptian city located in Upper Egypt during the early dynastic period. And it talks about, hold on, let me blow this up. How do I move this out of my way? Okay. In a religion, as each nome was home to the tomb and mummy of its dead nome god, so that THINIS, right here, was the temple and last resting place of Anhur. This is all in their literature in ancient Egypt. It's documented all in ancient Egypt, THINIS, all in their literature. Ahur, whose epithets included bull of THINIS. Hold on, let me move this. Let me make this smaller so we can see it all. THINIS, here we go. It says in Egyptian religious cosmology, THINIS played a role as a mythical place in heaven. In particular, as set out in the Book of the Dead. And here you can see right here. Oops, I'm not even getting this shit centered right. Anyway, this says THINIS played a role as a mythical place in heaven. In particular, as set out in the Book of the Dead. It says in the Book of the Dead, it says joy goeth round in THINIS. And it's a place that everybody in Egyptology agrees with.
THINIS was a city of the ancient Egyptian civilization, whilst THINIS and its alternative, this, were the Greek names of the city. The ancient Egyptians knew it as Tigenu. This city once served as the capital of ancient Egypt during the early dynastic period. The existence of THINIS is attested by ancient authors, such as Manetho, widely believed to have been an Egyptian priest who lived during the Ptolemaic period. Reference to THINIS is made also in religious texts, such as certain spells found in the Book of Going Forth by Day, better known as the Book of the Dead. In spite of references to this city in the literary sources, the exact location of THINIS is still unknown, and therefore remains a great mystery amongst archaeologists and Egyptologists. As a result of this, THINIS is often called a lost city. First capital. The first dynasty of Egypt was established when Upper and Lower Egypt were united under the rule of one pharaoh. According to the writer Manetho, the founder of the 18th dynasty was a man by the name of Menes, who is today identified with Narmer, once thought to have been his successor. This pharaoh is said to have been the leader of a tribal confederation known as the Thinite Confederacy. When Upper and Lower Egypt were united, Menes made THINIS his capital and ruled the country from there. During the Third Dynasty, the city of Memphis was established, and this became
See,
Egypt.
I play like things like this because sometimes, even in science, like I'm just being real for a minute. Let me be real. Like if when I want to learn about things in science, about the vaccine, just other scientific things, sometimes I'll go watch a little children's or a little animation on YouTube to help me get a basic understanding. So this is why I'm pulling things out here so you can get a basic understanding and get away from the muddy waters. And just get something plain and basic. Get some of this common sense science.
New capital. As a result of this shift, the importance of THINIS suffered a decline. Nevertheless, despite losing its status as the capital of Egypt, THINIS was still a regional.
As what? The capital of Egypt. It wasn't just no punk ass city. It was near and dear.
Despite losing its status as the capital of Egypt, THINIS was still a regionally significant urban center and served for some time as the capital of the 8th nome in Upper Egypt. It would eventually be replaced by Abydos as the capital of this nome. Lasting wealth. The written sources indicate that THINIS was still a city of great wealth, even long after it ceased to be the capital of Egypt. During the reign of
I'm telling you, listen to what I'm telling you. These early dynasties, first through to Amenhotep, Menhotep, and all these people, was on a gold grab, as I showed earlier. And this is why they're showing these riches from these cities called Thinis and Abydos and shit like that. Because they was running military expeditions and getting gold to do trade and expand the empire all up into the Mediterranean world. You have to understand that. It takes money to make the world go round. And they had to grab this money, get rich in these early dynasties, and one of the ways they was funneling money is from Nubia. They was taking from the poor to give to the rich. Nubians obviously like just like in West Africa now, they letting whites and all these people do all this mining for gold and shit and taking all their shit and they getting money from around the world with their resources. Cause sub-Saharan Africans and Nubians and people be letting people take their shit. In this nation state, and it's a brother named Corey Antitheus of the pseudo killers, always say Egypt was a First Nation state. It was. But he takes this angle and he's right about it. It was the First Nation state. They were the first, no, we say, he's using, excuse me. They were the first nationalist. So they combined they shit and they was the first nationalist because they it was the First Nation state that combined. And it was them against the world. That's why Egyptians are different than other North Africans. It's been them against the world ever since. And they ran their economy and got gold and took that shit up into the Mediterranean and did business and trade, exchanged ideas. All them ideas exchanged and information changed with other races and people and other people in the region, gave them the knowledge to create this civilization called ancient Egypt that's sexy and everybody wants to steal. This is what it is.
Thutmose III, the sixth pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, the yearly tax imposed on Thinis is recorded to have included 6 debens of gold, half a
Where do you think they get this gold from?
deben on the sixth pharaoh of the 18th dynasty. The yearly tax imposed on Thinis is recorded.
Wait a minute. Let's just use some common sense for a minute. Why do they have this gold and showing these riches in these early dynasties? It's because they led military expeditions into Nubia, set up fortresses for trade and to snatch that gold and ivory. And if they want a nice jacket, they'll use some of them animal skins they get from the Nubians. If they want to show off their furry jacket and shit, show off their mink coat, they'll snatch up some animal skins. A mink coat, animal skins, gold and ivory is luxury goods.
18th dynasty, the yearly tax imposed on Thinis is recorded to have included 6 debens of gold, half a deben of silver, as well as produce such as grain, cattle, and honey. The wealth of Thinis is evident when compared to nearby.
It's funny that she say that because I was reading an article and she mentions grain. So the Egyptians was paying tax. You know, if you a citizen, you got to pay tax and shit like that, and and they was using grains and stuff, because they was grain growers. So I had read that the Nubians needed grain from the Egyptians, right? So it's funny that she says that. So sometimes what the Nubians needed from Egyptians was more so necessities than luxury goods. On the flip side, Egyptians needed luxury goods, not anything of necessity from the Nubians. But the Nubians needed necessities like grain from the Egyptians. This is just what it says in the literature. I'm sorry.
Of gold. Thutmose III, the sixth pharaoh of the 18th dynasty, the yearly tax imposed on Thinis is recorded to have included 6 debens of gold, half a deben of silver, as well as produce such as grain, cattle, and honey. The wealth of Thinis is evident when compared to nearby Abydos, which was taxed more lightly. For instance, Abydos was required to pay 3 debens of gold each year, which is half of that paid by Thinis. As another example, whilst Abydos was taxed 3 sacks of grain per year, 62 sacks were required of Thinis. It may be added that the city was not only prosperous, but was also a regional powerhouse. It is recorded, for example, that the ruler of the Thinite province, a man named Antef, controlled the entire oasis region of the western desert, the produce of which would have increased the wealth of Thinis. Religious significance of Thinis. Thinis also has a significant role in the religious beliefs of the ancient Egyptians. This city has been referred to in some of the spells from the Book of Going Forth by Day. Spell 18, for instance, contains the following words: O Thoth, who didst vindicate Osiris against his enemies, vindicate, name, against his enemies in the great council that is in Abydos on this night of the H3KR feast, at the counting of the dead, at the stocktaking of the blessed, when dancing took place at Jenny. Although Thinis is well attested in the written sources, The exact location of the ancient city remains a mystery. Archaeologists have yet to unearth this city and are only able to speculate as to where it might be situated.
Paused. So you see when they said unearth it. So when what they mean by undiscovered is not that it's not real. It wasn't part of there because it's all in Egyptian records. So they know the area. What they can't find is the archaeological site because it was fucking Dynasty 00. It was Dynasty 0, which one it is. So things in Dynasty 0 may not be around anymore. So when Wikipedia says these things, Wikipedia is a site that remains unbiased. So they just put the fact that not they just put the information out there, but don't say for sure or not. But they're letting you know this is the area, although we haven't found the archaeological site. Okay, understand. Let me help your comprehension.
It is city and are only able to speculate as sources. The exact location of the ancient city remains a mystery. Archaeologists have yet to unearth this city and are only able to speculate as to where it might be situated. It has been suggested that THINIS would have been located close to Abydos, and the most likely candidate is the modern-day city of Girga.
Gurga. Remember I said Gurga.
Another and the most likely candidate is the modern-day city of Girga. Another
Gurga.
and the most likely candidate is the modern-day city of Girga.
Remember that.
Another
Remember Gurga.
likely candidate is the modern city of El Berba. The discovery of this lost city would indeed enhance our understanding of the city of Girga. Another likely candidate is the modern city of El Berba.
Now, this is a one guess, and this is way north, damn near by Mediterranean, Berba. But no expert, not one, would consider it to be anywhere in Nubia. This is the whole point.
Another likely candidate would indeed enhance our understanding of the ancient Egypt's early dynastic period.
Bam. So Thinis is a place, it's just that the conscious community didn't know about it and didn't know Narmer came from Thinis. And why they didn't know Narmer came from Thinis? When the whole academic world knew, that was hidden from you by Afrocentrics. They're not going to teach about Thinis because for instance, if I teach you about Thinis, then you're going to immediately know that Narmer is said to be from Thinis. Then you'll immediately know he wasn't from the south and Nubian. You see how it goes? You see how slippery the slope is? The devil got tricks. The devil got tricks. Let me continue on. Hold on. This light is goddamn bright. Let me turn my room light on. Hold on. I ain't even finished. So, we continue on. Hold on. Now, I said remember. What did I say remember? One second, y'all. Let me find some.
The discovery of this lost city would indeed enhance our understanding of this lost city. The discovery is another likely.
Oh, that was it. Hold on. So I kept saying, remember Gurga, because where is it at? One second, y'all. Because Gurga was right here. It is right here. Hold on. Right here. I have it highlighted. Gurga. It was right here. Gurga. On the slide, we're next to THINIS. Right here. This is THINIS. So slide down. And here we go. Till I passed it. Just like that video said, Gurga is right here. That's what THINIS is. Where modern day Gurga is. Now, when we go here and we type in Gurga in Egypt, let's see where it's at on the map. Since he's so dead set and have a hernia, worried about Gurga. Gurga, according to Google, and they fucking accurate, is Gurga Hospital. Right here, that red dot. So let's zoom out and see what Google places it when you get further out. There go Gurga. There go Gurga, where that red dot is. That's where Google, the satellite, places Gurga. It may be off center, but it's damn near center. Who would argue about that but a petty nigga who's wrong, like Smash Rockwell? Math don't lie, niggas lie. Some of these maps are screwed when you have close up, but when you put Google on that shit and you look at today's borders, now what them borders was, what Aswan would be. Let's just see. You see this little water right here? Where my arrow is? There go Aswan right there. It's at the tip where these waters at. See? And that's still Egypt. Gurga's way above Aswan. Yeah. So Narmer ain't nowhere from Nubia, and he's not a Nubian in any kind of way. Smash Rockwell needs to apologize to the community. But wait, that's not it. Let me show you Smashwell almost admitting some truth right here. Watch this.
Who did? And it said exactly the opposite of everything you saying.
I'm not making that up. Just look up, did Narmer lead a military expedition into Nubia? Yes, he did. To capture that gold and luxury items, and he took that stuff back up to the Mediterranean.
Do you hear what the hell he said?
Smash Rockwell. Hey, maybe you weren't up on it. Maybe just tell. Maybe you need to say Chief X. Thanks. I never knew that. Some kind of way you got to figure out a way to save face. Hold on.
So there's something
Hold on, y'all. That is not what I wanted to play.
from he united the people from he was from the center. He united his people and the people in the north by smashing them. Then he turned around. So he went back south, right? So now he went back to the center. Now he went back south. Whatever the case, by the fact that you saying he turned around, you know he was facing north. Because if he turned around to go back south, then he came from the south.
So I couldn't find it, but oh man, um, he laughed at these people turning around and banging on Nubia, leading military expedition. So check this out. Not only did Menhotep, um, Mentuhotep, Narmer, and Amenhotep lead military expedition, so did Thutmosis. So let's go there real quick. So as we see here, we read this article earlier. This article was a dagger. Remember they said the Deger piece, right? King Deger they talking about in Egypt. Remember? As a rock drawing dated to King Deger's reign is throughout to illustrate a slave raid into Nubia. Deger's interest in Nubia extended as far as the second cataract of the Nile, where I say Nubia starts. But that's not what I wanted to show you. We already shown or seen earlier in the presentation Mentuhotep II, I showed you right here. He also launched a military campaign under the command of his vizier south into Nubia, which has gained its independence during the first intermediate period, right? This is first attested appearance of the term Kush for Nubia in Egyptian records. Clearly tells you right here Amenhotep conducted campaigns against a territory called Akayata in Nubia. That's because these people weren't Nubians. But they sent military campaigns to the foreigners who were Nubians. So I think this might be it. Ah, damn it! I erased the goddamn shit. Ain't that too bad? Hold on, y'all. I'm all mangled up here. Bear with me. Bear with pimping. That was an important piece too. I had. So let me just do this then. Hold on. I think I can pull it up this way. I think I found it. 1 second, y'all. Okay, here we go. I got you. Chief X got you. Okay, here we go. Bear with pimping. All right. Thutmosis right here. I mentioned Mentuhotep, Narmer, Amenhotep. Here's the fourth, Thutmosis. All these Egyptian kings and rulers ran into Nubia to make sure business was straight and get that gold straight because they had set up trading posts down there. And they want to make sure shit rolling right, right? Here we go right here. In his second year, Thutmosis did what? Led a river-borne expedition down into Nubia. Beyond his predecessors, people before him, like Narmer, as shown by his inscriptions carved along the way, he thrust past the damn fourth cataract. Thutmosis was a bad motherfucker. What? Damn. Hold on. I didn't got off the damn thing. Okay, so here we go right here. He thrust past the fourth now cataract. Because when you get to going down to the fourth cataract, that's where they say the Kushite dynasty was. Now, people confuse Kushite and Nubian, but when you map out Kushite dynasty, that's down by fourth cataract, fourth Nile cataract, and set up new boundaries. He was down all down to the fourth cataract banging on Nubians. The venture is attested by the biographies of the two Upper Egyptians who were among the forces that made the campaign. One reason for the deep thrust into Nubia, let me make sure y'all can see. I didn't make it too big. I'm not the best computer guy, y'all. Bear with pimping. Okay. It's basically telling you right here, Thutmose. He did what? He expanded his empire into Nubia. And right here it says he made a deep thrust into Nubia. Look, For one reason for the deep thrust into Nubia was what? The land's rich gold deposits were intensely exploited during the 18th dynasty. Another motivation was the fact that hostile Kushite kingdom centered near the third cataract had seriously menaced Egypt during the 17th dynasty. Man, look here. See, now I'm going to have to expand on this. It gets deeper and deeper. I didn't even know all this. Listen, did y'all read that? One reason for the deep thrust into Nubia was the land's rich gold deposits, which were intensely exploited during the 18th dynasty. Another motivation was the fact that the hostile Kushite kingdom centered. I knew I was on point. Before this, I said the Kushite dynasty is even lower by the fourth cataract. But they're saying, look, the hostile Kushite kingdom centered near the third cataract. So when I say the second cataract is where I feel Nubia belongs, I'm pretty much on point. I'm in the middle of every goddamn thing. Right here. Centered near the third cataract had seriously menaced Egypt during the 17th dynasty. So what it's basically saying is them Nubians was a menace to Egypt's side during the 17th dynasty. Niggas was over there cutting up. Wait a minute. Don't blame me. It says, look, there was a menace to society to them. Y'all know I'm just clowning. But look here. The third cataract was the Kushite kingdom was centered. Chief X ain't talking, the sources say that. And the mainly they was down there, like I keep saying, to get these luxury goods for gold. Luxury goods. He lunged way past the fourth cataract. And set up a boundary in they shit. What you mean they was the same people? Why would you have to set up a boundary if you're the same people? What sense does that make? Look, after Thutmose what? After his Nubian war. Meaning he's not warring with himself. He's an Egyptian warring with a Nubian. Two different people. They have to stop this shit talking about the Nubians built the pyramids and Nubians was a tributary state. After his Nubian war, Thutmose penetrated the Euphrates River in the vicinity of Shirmash in Syria as he continued the pursuit of the Hyksos, Asiatic rulers who had recently dominated Egypt. So he's banging on them Asiatics and their other enemies, Nubians. I mean, like Smash Rockwell, Jabari, Brother Ankh, Brother Reggie don't have a foot to stand on. I mean, this argument of Narmer in the north is closed. For early, all the way up to the 18th kingdom, it seemed like every three dynasties, they'd run a military expedition back down on them. Make sure their business is straight. All the way up to the 18th dynasty. They didn't run no military exposition on themselves. So what was this guy talking about that I played in the beginning of this video? Let's play it again. This is what started it all. This misinformation of Dr. Ben and these people teaching this nonsense. Let's go.
what the brother said. So my monarchy is Dr. Bruce Williams. You should be able to find it on the Oriental Institute if it's still up. It says, according to Dr. Bruce Williams of the Oriental Institute of Chicago, Narmer was a Nubian who traveled up the Nile and conquered Kemet. Both Dr. Williams and Dr. Keith Steele from the University of Chicago's Oriental Institute have both noted that the excavation of the Upper Nile at Aswan, or what would become Aswan, for the construction of the Aswan Dam led them to a thesis. This thesis is that the earliest pharaonic monarchy in the Nile Valley was from the region of Lower Nubia, known as Kustal, modern-day Aswan, as the excavation proved that the white crown later used by Upper Egypt originated from Kustal about 1,000 years before it was used in Egypt. It further posits that it's only reasonable that Narmer, who was a Nubian, came up the Nile to form his conquest. As far as the name Menes goes, the dominant
Paul, you see how I did my put the hands over my face? I'm in the top right.
opinion, who was a Nubian, came up the Nile to form his conquest. As far as the name Menes goes,
So that's where it all started with Dr. Ben saying they came from the south where God happy dwelled. He was dead wrong. That's not in the Peppers who never. And all his followers thinking Narmer was Nubian or came from the south has been dead wrong, and we just proved that. This entire they came from the south and alluding. Now, if you're saying they came from the south, which means south of the delta, then I understand. But Afrocentrics is not doing that. They're alluding to Narmer being Nubian and coming from the south, meaning Nubia. And nothing's further from the truth. I had to set this straight, and no one in 40 years in the entire conscious community has ever cleaned up this mess about Narmer come from the south. I'm the only and first one. Rob Bourne, bitch ass, didn't do it. Shut your mouth. Wouldn't know how to do it. Garfield ain't done it and won't do it. Smash Rockwell, Ankh, and the entire Amin Ra squad been lying when Reggie and Smash Rockwell and Asar and Wujaro already know better. Ankh may not know better. He just, he's not on that intellectual level. But them other people knew all this I put down to you today. For certain. But never taught it. And misled you. Find someone breaking this down anywhere in the black conscious community ever in 20 years. You won't find one. As you heard, and if you were late and you didn't rewind it, Smash Rockwell admitted he won't debate me. Check this out. Let's just break this down real quick. Real quick. This is Reggie. All these men, Jabari, Brother Reggie, as you see here, Ankh, and Smash Rockwell, co-signed this naive brother's miseducation about Narmer being Nubia. They shook their head like, yeah, 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 you're right. But they all know better. So check this out. To put Reggie's deceit in here, let me show you this. He claimed that the Nubians built the pyramids in Egypt, and I had to chin check him on this. This is what these people are doing. What? Listen. He said I wasn't sharing, but maybe they heard me. Maybe they heard it, but they didn't. But the visual's also better. My bad, y'all. You know, don't mind me. You know what I mean? I smoke weed. Excuse me. Where was I? Okay, here it was.
Niggas people, but these are the pyramid builders. These people, but these are the pyramid builders. These are the people still in the area. They are second class citizens in Egypt. They
So the context
can't.
is
They are second class citizens in Egypt. In the area, they are second class citizens in Egypt. They can very rarely leave the country.
now. He said the Nubians are the pyramid builders in Egypt. He got caught in a lie and acted like he didn't say this once he got called on it. But we clearly say he said it three different times right here. Or was it two? But he said it several times just now. Do you know where the Sphinx and the Pyramid of Giza is up there at? Down there on the Mediterranean? He's saying the Nubians built that shit on the Mediterranean. I called him on it. I got the video to prove it. It's on my timeline. It's on my page. I made it yesterday. This is how deceitful these cats are. This is what they're trying to say. They're trying to say the Egyptians is black, and they're trying to say that the Nubians started the Egyptian civilization. I just put it all in a nutshell.
They are the niggas, right, in Egypt, like the African Americans are the niggas in the United States. They're completely controlled by the government. These are the people who are sovereign to the land. These are the people who never left. They come in all sizes.
These are the people who never left. He's saying these are the ancient Egyptians who built the pyramids and they never left. This is them. The Nubians are the ones who jumped off the Egyptian civilization. This is what these niggas are saying. And they all co-signed this shit. And they all argued me down about this shit and are teaming up together to continue this lie. This is why I say liars hang with liars. Birds of a feather flock together. So they're just a group of liars knowing each other are lying. This is the cold thing about it. They looking at each other's faces. I know you lying. You know I'm lying. Let's just help each other lie. Crazy. How can people be that fucking fake? Is my sound okay now? Okay, if my sound is okay, press the number 8 if my sound is okay before I continue. Okay, you said sounds good, armchair philosopher. Whatever armchair philosophers say, you can bet your bottom dollar. What you say, Donnie Williams? You can't believe he jumped out there like that. When Donnie Williams can't believe something, you know you done fucked up. Thanks, Dawood. Let me just read a few comments. Hey, armchair philosopher. Yes, he did. Jabari said he'd debate you, though. That would be a fun show to watch. I'd love to. And I've been setting up, but Jabari been secretly watching some of my videos because I've called him out in a couple of them. So I know he really doesn't want that because he's never responded to anything, right? He will usually respond to anyone, call them out if he feel he can defeat them. But he's never responded to my call outs until Sarnetter confronted him with me, forced the confrontation when I was on Sarnetter. That was a forced confrontation that Sarnetter is trying to force. Listen to me. Sarnetter wants to set up. Me and Sarnetter has had phone conversation. This is what I'm saying. Sarnetter would love for Jabari to debate me on that. Or anybody really, but he would love for Jabari to. But Jabari has never really wanted to step up until he was forced to. But as you see, he had a stipulation on agreeing to debate me. Well, I want to debate Chief X until he read my book. I don't think till he read this section of the book. Something like that he said. A section of the book. I don't think he said the whole book. But he said until he reads this couple chapters of my book and got these stipulations that he ain't gonna debate me unless I do this. I'm a grandfather and 51 years old. I've been around the community longer than all these cats. There's no stipulation on me. I've spanked you before, I really wanted to say. But I'm being nice. I wanted to say I spanked you before. Now you got a stipulation for me. So the stipulation is to cut off from being real and setting up a debate time. He's seen my resume. He's checked my X files. He's debated me before. So this excuse about what I need to do before he will can't really work. We have a full-blown 3-hour debate on YouTube that 29,000 people watched and praised me on. Right? Would you say Banu? Thutmose III built the Egyptian empire to its greatest extent. He's considered the Napoleon of Egypt, except Thutmose never lost a battle. Right? He built that shit up. He was collecting that gold. Thank you, Daoud. What you say, Astro? Southwest and North Africans built the pyramids. Has nothing to do with sub-Saharan Africans. Yeah. Like the oldest structure, if people just had a map and you look at the oldest structure, which some say is the Sphinx of the pyramid. Now I'm not going to get into the argument because last time I said this, it broke so down into so petty that people got to talk about the oldest structure, the oldest monument, the oldest archaeological site, and then it just withered down into people just playing wordplay. Archaeological site, structure, monument. Calm down. The fully erected like monument that people rave about. Let me just say this, goddamn, without being so goddamn particular. The oldest one is the Sphinx, and it's damn near right on the Mediterranean. If it's right damn near on the Mediterranean, then Mediterranean people more than likely built it. I mean, like, what the fuck? Why fight against common sense? Would you say Astro Thutmose also conquered most of the Levant, as well as Nubia? Correct. Just going through a few of the comments. What you say, Archer? I ain't cracked it none tonight. I need to go get me some more. But here go. He was say, where that cheap Costco whiskey at tonight? I'm almost done with this cheap ass shit. Oh, funny. Thank you, Daoud. Oh, I didn't show you. I know what I meant to show you. I said I was going to show you what Herodotus thought. I think I accidentally closed it. But hold on. Hold on. Where did I see it at? Hold on, y'all. Um, where did I see it? One second, y'all. I think it's in the thinnest description. One second, y'all. Let me just read through this. This is important to show. Okay. One second, y'all. One second, I might found it. If this ain't it, I'll move forward. Hold on, y'all. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. This is like a serious dagger. I'm looking for where it said um, Herodotus places Narmer's origin closer to Memphis. I really need to find it, but you know what? I might have to give up on it and show it in another video. Okay. 'Cause but Herodotus places Narmer's origin closer to Memphis. I'll find that at a later date. But this whole discussion, Smash Rockwell, um, it just seems like maybe like when I say like, is this your king? Like, is this y'all who y'all thought knew something? You've been body slammed today. You've been wrong on everything you said or thought about me. You pushing Narmer to be Nubian, you've been shown to be wrong. There's no way around this. The only way around this is an apology for intentionally lying because you knew better. But you've been losing this argument all year and you just reaching for anything wild to say. You've been so erratic a couple weeks ago, you even claimed that Nubians are indigenous to the Levant. This is how berserk niggas is going. Wait, wait a minute. Look, look. This is. Let me share my screen real quick. This is Smash Rockwell lately. Berserk, out of control with anger or excitement, wild and frenzied. When you've gone berserk, you make wild accusations like the Nubians were indigenous to the Levant and be on a record saying it. You're on a record saying that we, as African Americans, descend from ancient Egyptians. You're on a record saying a whole bunch of wild, crazy shit. Hey, Ankh! Ankh! Did you get Kaba's ass over up in here to listen? Her little disingenuous ass, you bring her up in here and let her know I talked about her today. I wasn't disrespectful. I just said bring her lying, disingenuous ass up in here. Fronting for her leader. I want her to see this smack up. Oh man, this has been fun. What you say, Donnie? Live by Herodotus, die by Herodotus. Let him know. I don't know how I removed that source that said it, but I accidentally clicked off something. It's been a long time. Right, Markel. I met this Mediterranean guy from Tunisia, and he claims he's Mediterranean people. He claims he's Mediterranean. He also claims he's North African. He also claims he's Tunisian. Three things can be right. You get what I'm saying? He can be Mediterranean, he can be Tunisian, he can be North African. All three things can be right. It's okay. How is niggas thousands and thousands of miles away in Baltimore going to tell him he not a Mediterranean or what he is? Like, what the fuck is y'all talking about? Am I armchair? I'm not sure. I have to check that out. I don't have none of his books or anything, but I'm gonna look more into it. I'll find it later. I just want to waste y'all time. I forgot what I was looking at that was the source of Herodotus saying that. What you say, Sat? 12. Herodotus confirms that the first king of Egypt was Min, named Menes by Manetho, and recorded it as Min on the Abydos king list. Right. So, if you are going to quote Herodotus on some things because you tried to use him, you got to use him here. Your man Herodotus thinks that means, or Narmer, or whatever you want to call him, was from the area THINIS and or Memphis, nowhere near Nubia. So, I mean, is there anything else I was needed to say or miss out on? That was it. We're gonna end it with some oh my one of my favorite songs at this point in time. Hold on. Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I'm glad somebody noticed. Chief X said, "You sharp use their own map to prove them absolute. I used their own map to prove them absolutely wrong on where Narmer came from. Even Smash got caught in a trap, saying thinnest but not accepting your research on the map that these niggas always use. Thinnest is right there." Oh man, let's go. Hold on.
It happened all so fast. I wanna make it last. Na 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 na. So if you want me to, then baby say I do. I'll give it all to you. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. No one has ever loved me the way you do. I'll never find another one like you. One like you. Na 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 na. Shower me with your love. Now I can't get enough. Na 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 na. So if you want me to, then baby say I do. I'll give it all to you. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the
Y'all can throw a brother $5 or something. Come on, cash app a brother.
shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Alright, okay. I never felt this way. Okay, alright. Let's get it on tonight. Alright, okay. I never felt this way. Okay, alright. Let's get it on tonight. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might be the right time. Take this party to the next spot. this way. Okay, alright, let's get it on tonight. Alright, okay, I never felt this way. Okay, alright, let's get it on tonight. Shining like a light. Shining like a light. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Shining like a light in the nighttime. Loving everything that you got. Thinking that it might
Be the right time.
to take this party to the next spot. You know I'm on it like I want it. Ain't that the way it's supposed to be? I'm about my business trying to get this. A better life for you and me. You and me. You and me. You and me. Baby, you we hard times all night. Devil's praying on my demise. But with you in my life, my right, we can get our slice of the pie. 'Cause you and I, no lie, no lie. You know I'm on it like I want it. Ain't that the way it's supposed to be? I'm about my business trying to get this. A better life for you and me. You and me. You know I'm on it like I want it. Visions of high society.
High society.
I'm about my business trying to get this. A better life for you and me. You and me. You and me. You and me. Yeah, picture you and me in first class, full fare, clinking with a pinky up in the air. In the delicates of fabric, we can have it all. We can have it all. Just get your back above the wall. So many problems in this world today. Let's hit the floor and dance them all away. Tomorrow will resume reality.
Let me play my song before I get up out of here. Hold on. I'm gonna take you back. You ain't OG unless you heard this song. By the way, we done here. I'm just closing out with some music.
Don't you know I got a thing for you? And for your love, there's nothing I won't do. I swim in the ocean.